Hello friends, the topic for today is basics of computer networks and communication. Data communications and networking have changed the way we do business and the way we live. Business decisions have to be made ever more quickly and decision makers require immediate access to accurate information. Business today rely on computer networks and internetworks. Data communication and networking have found their way not only through business and personal communication, they also have found many applications in political and social issues. People have found how to communicate with other people in the world to express their social and political opinions and problems. Communities in the world are not isolated anymore. In this video, I will introduce networks and define some network attributes such as types of connection, visual topology such as mesh, star, bus and ring, which are commonly used in computer networks. Let us start with the introduction. A network is the interconnection of a set of devices capable of communication. In this definition, a device can be a host such as a large computer, desktop, laptop, workstation, cellular phone, or security system. A device in this definition can also be a connecting device such as a router which connects the network to other networks, a switch which connects devices together, and a modem, modulator, demodulator, which changes the forms of data and so on. These devices in a network are connected using wired or wireless transmission media such as cable or air. When we connect two computers at home using a plug and play router, we have created a network, although a very small. Then let us go to the network criteria. A network must be able to meet a certain number of criteria. The most important of these criteria are performance, reliability, and security. Performance can be measured in many ways, including transit time and response time. Transit time is the amount of time required for a message to travel from one device to another. Response time is elapsed time between any inquiry and a response. The performance of a network depends on a number of factors, including the number of users, the types of transmission medium, the capabilities of connected hardware, and the efficiency of the software. Performance is often evaluated by two networking metrics, throughput and delay. We often need more throughput and less delay. However, these two criteria are often contradictory. If we try to send more data to the network, we may increase throughput, but we increase the delay because of the traffic congestion in the network. Then let us go to the reliability. In addition to accuracy of delivery, network reliability is measured by the frequency of failure, the time it takes a link to recover from failure, and the network's robustness in a catastrophe, that is the emergency condition. Then security. Network security issues include protecting data from unauthorized access, protecting data from damage and development, and implementing policies and procedures for recovery from breaches and data losses. Then let us go to network attributes. So before discussing the networks, we need to define some network attributes such as types of connection, physical topology. Let us go to type of connection. A network is two or more devices connected through links. A link is communications pathway that transfers data from one device to another. For visualization purpose, it is simplest to imagine any link as a line drawn between 2 points. For communication to occur, two devices must be connected in some way to the same link at the same time. There are two possible types of connection: point to point, multi point. Let us go to point to point connection. A point to point connection provides a dedicated link between two devices. The entire capacity of the link is reserved for transmission between those two devices. Most point to point connections use an actual length of the wire or cable to connect the two ends, but other options such as microwave or satellite links are also possible. A point to point link is shown in figure. So here you can see there are two devices and there is a link which is connecting both of them. So when we change the television channels by infrared remote control, we are establishing a point to point connection between the remote control and the television's control system. So that is a simple example of the point to point connection. Then let us go to the multi point. A multi-point connection is one in which more than two specific devices share a single link as shown in the figure. So here you can see we have the mainframe and here we have three devices and the link is shared between these three devices. In a multi-point environment, the capacity of the channel is shared either spatially or temporally. That means with distance or with time. If several devices can use the link simultaneously, it is a spatial shared connection. That is with respect to the space. If users take turns, it takes time shared connection. That means one after the other, the user will use the connection. So that is time sharing. Then let us go to the physical topology. The term physical topology refers to the way in which a network is laid down physically. Two or more devices connect to a link. Two or more links form a topology. Topology of a network is the geometric representation of the relationship of all links and linking devices, usually called the nodes, to one another. There are four basic topologies possible: mesh topology, star topology, bus topology, and ring topology. Let us go to the mesh topology. In a mesh topology, every device has a dedicated point-to-point link to every other device. The term dedicated means that the link carries traffic only between the two devices it connects. In a fully connected mesh network with n nodes, each node must be connected to every other node. So if each physical link allows communication in both directions, that is in duplex mode, then in a mesh topology we need n into n minus 1 divided by 2 duplex mode links, where n is the number of devices. To accommodate many links, every device on the network must have a n minus 1 input output ports to be connected to the other n minus 1 stage. Now, advantages. The use of dedicated links guarantees that each connection can carry its own data load, thus eliminating the traffic problems that can occur when links must be shared by multiple devices. Then second advantage, a mesh topology is robust. If one link becomes unusable, it does not encapsulate the entire system. That means it will not affect the entire system. Then third, there is an advantage of privacy and security. When every message travels along a dedicated line, only the intended recipient sees it. Physical boundaries prevent others from gaining access to the messages. Then point-to-point links make fault identification and fault isolation easy. Traffic can be routed to avoid links with suspected problems. This facility enables the network manager to discover the precise location of the fault and aids in finding its cause and solution. Then disadvantages. First disadvantage, because every device must be connected to every other device, installation and reconnections are difficult. The sheer bulk of wiring can be greater than the available space can accommodate, that is in the walls, ceilings or floors. The hardware required to connect each link, that is IO ports and cables, can be prohibitively expensive. Then for these reasons, a mesh topology is usually implemented in a limited fashion. For example, as a backbone connecting the main computers of a hybrid network that can include several other topologies. Then let us see the figure. So here we have mesh topology and n is equal to 5. So the total number of links is 10. Each device is connected to the other device. Then let us go to the star topology. In star topology, each device has a dedicated point-to-point link only to a central controller, usually called a hub. The devices are not directly linked to one another. Unlike a mesh topology, a star topology does not allow direct traffic between devices. The controller acts as an exchange. If any one device wants to send data to another, it sends the data to the controller, which then relays the data to other connected device. So this is shown in the diagram. So here you have the hub and every device is connected to the hub. Then the advantages. First advantage, the star topology is less expensive than a mesh topology. Then second, in star, each device needs only one link and one IO port to connect it to any number of others. This factor also makes it easy to install and reconfigure. For less cabling needs to be housed, and additions, moves and deletions involve only one connection between the device and the hub. Then fourth, star topology is robust. If one link fails, only that link is affected. All other links remain active. This factor also lends itself to easy fault identification and fault isolation. As long as the hub is working, it can be used to monitor link problems and bypass defective links. Then disadvantages. First disadvantage. One big disadvantage of star topology is the dependency of whole topology on one single point, the hub. If the hub goes down, the whole system is dead. Although a star requires far less cable than mesh, each node must be linked to a central hub. For this reason, often more cabling is required in the star than some other topologies such as the ring or the bus. Then use. The star topology is used in a local area network, that is LANs. High-speed LANs often use a star topology with a central hub. Then let us go to the bus topology. A bus topology is a multi-point connection. One long cable acts as a backbone to link all the devices in the network. Nodes are connected to the bus cable by drop lines and taps. A drop line is a connection running between the device and the main cable, and tab is a connector that either splices into main cable or punctures the sheathing of the cable to create a contact with the metallic core. As a signal travels along the backbone, some of its energy is transferred into heat. Therefore, it becomes weaker and weaker as it travels farther and farther. For this reason, there is a limit on the number of taps a bus can support and on the distance between the two taps. Then advantages. First, ease of installation. Backbone cables can be laid along the most efficient path, then connected to the nodes by drop lines of various lengths. And second, in this way, a bus uses less cabling than mesh or star topology. Then disadvantages. First, difficult reconnection and fault isolation. A bus is usually designed to be optimally efficient at installation. It can therefore be difficult to add new devices. Then second, signal reflection at the taps can cause degradation in quality. This degradation can be controlled by limiting the number and spacing of the devices connected to a given length of cable. Adding new devices may therefore require modification and replacement of the backbone. Then fourth, a fault or break in the bus cable stops all transmission, even between the devices on the same side of the problem. The damaged area reflects signal back in the direction of origin, creating noise in both directions. Then use. Bus topology was one of the first topologies used in the design of early local area network. Traditional Ethernet LANs can use a bus topology, but they are less popular now. So you can see the diagram for bus topology. So here we have the backbone link, and then to the drop lines are connected with the help of tab, and the drop line will connect the different device. And here we have the cable ends at both the sides. Then let us go to the ring topology. In ring topology, each device has a dedicated point-to-point connection with only the two devices on either side of it. A signal is passed along the ring in one direction from device to device until it reaches the destination. Each device in the ring incorporates a repeater. When a device receives a signal intended for another device, its repeater regenerates the bits and passes them along. Then advantages. A ring is relatively easy to install and reconfigure. Each device is linked to only its immediate neighbors, that is either physically or logically. Then second advantage, to add or delete a device requires changing only two connections. The only constraints are media and traffic consideration. It is maximum ring length and the number of devices. Then third advantage, in addition, fault isolation is simplified. Generally in a ring, a signal is circulating at all times. If one device does not receive a signal within a specified period, it can issue an alarm. The alarm alerts the network operator to the problem and its location. Then disadvantage. However, unidirectional traffic can be a disadvantage. In a simple ring, a break in the ring, such as disabled station, can disable the entire network. This weakness can be solved by using dual ring or a switch capable of closing off the break. Then use. Ring topology was relevant in IBM introduced its local area network, token ring. Today, the need for higher speed LANs has made this topology less popular. So you can see the figure. So here we have the devices connected in the form of a ring, and each device will be connected through a repeater, and the data will flow in one direction. So with this, we come to the end of this video. If you like the video, press the like button, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel Engineering and Technology for You. And don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get notifications for our future videos on this subject. Then thanks for watching. Have a nice day.